Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on this Snapper 5 horsepower snowblower. The backstory on this is that it was free. It was given to me in the spring by someone. I bought a patio table and chairs from this person for, I think it was like $150. And it was not in great condition, but I restored the table and chairs. But he also had this. And he said, you know, if you want it, you can have it. You know, it hasn't worked in years, and he had other projects, mowers and stuff that he wanted to work on. So, and I said, sure, I'll take it. And that's as much as I know about it. So, seems to be locked up. Whether that is the pull start or it's the engine, I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. The key is rusted. I cannot turn it. It does seem to have electric start. No idea if that works or not. That is very crunchy. Oh, there's gas in there, I think. Or something. Yep. Smells bad, and if that is any indication of what is to come, well, we're going to have fun on this one. This is an old machine, so I'm guessing these are 5/16, not 8mm. Ha! That's right. Let's see. Wrong way. Can't get to that one, but this one. Alright, there's one. It won't clear the chute. Got to take the chute off too. This one feels like a snapper, so I'm going to take some time. You saw me working it back and forth. I'm just going to do that. I have a little bit of movement in it, and I can work it very gingerly back and forth and get a little bit more movement out of it, and hopefully I can keep it from snapping off. If you can get a full revolution out of it, you're good. And I think I'm just about to do that. Yep, I got it. Alright, let me get this out of the way and I'll bring you back. Okay, I got the chute off. It has carriage bolts that go through it and hold it to this, looks like plastic. And they're kind of egged out. We may have to replace those with bolts, nuts and bolts. If this thing goes back together, I am not entirely certain that this will be going back together, but we'll see. There we go. Wow. Yeah, she's a peach. Since the engine is locked up, we need to get the plug out and get some oil down into the spark plug hole. But I'm looking at how do we want to turn the engine once we get the oil down in there. Thinking maybe we get rid of the gas tank and then pull the pull start off, and then we should be able to get a wrench onto the flywheel nut. I'm also looking at, the carburetor is full of something, nuts or nest or something. I don't know if you can see it down there, so I don't really want to spin it over without knowing what's up in there. So I kind of want to get the carburetor out of there. Getting the carburetor out of there, I think those aren't even bolts on there, or those are like Allen screws. So it's going to be a pain. All right, before going any further, let's get rid of some of the. Let's give it a bath, air bath. Right, now that the engine is semi-clean, why don't we, I'm curious, I want to pull the spark plug and just take a look and see what is in there. Doesn't look bad. Honestly, doesn't look too bad in there. Huh. I wonder if the piston is not locked up, and whether it's the pull start that's our problem. I don't know. I've decided that, you know, we have to remove so much stuff. We have to remove the carburetor, and we have to remove the pull start, the recoil, and probably this cover. I saw nesting material and stuff in there. I don't know if I blew it all out, but I want to take the cover off. And there's just so much stuff to get to that I think that it may be easier to just remove the entire engine and get to it that way. So we have one bolt or nut there holding it, and we have 4 bolts there holding it. And that seems to be all that's holding this engine in. So I figure let's just start unbolting stuff and see what falls out. I think the gas tank is full of water. What else is going to keep us from getting the engine out? This is going to be in our way. Let's get this cotter pin out of here and move this to the side. And we also have to unscrew the ignition or the starter box, control box plug from the plastic. That should be free, and this is going to have to come off anyway. The key is rusted in place, so that, let me get a pliers for that and a wrench for that. This tiny screw is in my way. Ah, wouldn't you know it? It's rusted. Let's see if we can remove this carb. So, get this Allen wrench in here. Yeah, there's icky stuff in there. That doesn't feel good. Doesn't want to come. I guess we'll leave it be and kind of work around it, clean it up best we can. Get all of this out of here so that we don't contaminate the engine. Doesn't actually look bad in there. I don't see a ton of rust or corrosion, so that's good. I don't know if you can see in there. I think you can. Hopefully that piston isn't too stuck. Let's get this recoil off. So the engine is locked up and the starter is locked up as well. None of this stuff moves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spark plug out and I'm going to dump a bunch of penetrating oil down in there. Lots of PB Blaster, and I don't know, maybe I'll use some of that Marvel Mystery Oil. And I'm also going to hit the starter with PB Blaster as well. I've got the engine propped up, so I think I'm gonna shoot a bunch of stuff down in here. Yeah, get it all around. I want to get there we go. Let that sit. I'm going to put some on the starter down here. Just all the pieces of it. Let that soak. Let that soak in. And all this stuff is all locked up. So let that sit. Let me get the right socket to put on there and gingerly try and turn it over. Okay, looks like the nut is a 3/4 inch. I'm gonna put this on a breaker bar and let's see how locked up it really is. Ooh. Actually, I think that's all down in here. There's all this stuff. Not very locked up. I think we're fine in the hole. I think it was jamming and there's a whole bunch of rust down in there that it's jamming on. Yeah, so the engine actually seems all right, the internals. Oh yeah, there's like nuts and stuff down there. Let me show you. There's like a whole bunch of nuts and rust down in there, and I think that was actually jamming us up. So maybe I take this cover off and get all of that out of there, and then we'll spin it over with a drill. How about that? I'm pretty sure that's supposed to spin. I see we have some work to do there. Well, that's a mess. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a wire wheel to some of this stuff and clean up all of the rust bits and garbage in there. So let me clean this up and then I'll bring you back. So I was going over it with the wire wheel out here. I put it on the driveway because of all the rust, and that came out of the carb. Now I thought it was the oil PB blaster that we put down into the cylinder, but it's some of that, but it's actually water, bunch of water. So I don't know if that's a good sign or not, but we will continue and we'll see. Finished cleaning up. I mean, I got the big chunks off, and I mean, look at the magnet on the flywheel. That is really pitted, really bad. This thing, it's a mess. You want to see if it has spark? Amazingly, we do. Hard to hold this thing, but wow, I am amazed. Let's see. I mean, it's not bolted down. Let me just feel it. Definitely has some compression. We've gotten further than I thought we would. What do you say we take a look at the starter now? As I stab myself in the finger. Let me turn you around. So I don't think I'm going to take the starter off just yet. I'm going to take this clip out and try and disassemble or remove the gear and all of this stuff and the washers, and maybe that will that will help to free it up. Not sure, but I'm guessing none of this stuff is going to play nice. Huh, look at that, it did not go flying. All right. Will this still didn't want to come off. Let me see if I can get a punch. I have a slightly more appropriately sized hammer and a selection of punches here. Let's see if we can't break something. You guys are kind of right where I need to be. There's a rubber bushing here, which I don't really want to damage. Doesn't want to come. Is there something else holding it? Or is it just rusted completely on? Well, let's run it out here. Let's give it some lubrication. And then give it some taps. I think this thing is supposed to kind of spin and pull itself in and release, push out. The spring's supposed to push it out. And when the starter engages, it's supposed to pull in and engage with the teeth on the flywheel. There's something. Whatever that is, just came off. That's pretty rusted. There we go. All right, yeah, I see the, there we go. Yeah, there's a spiral on here that this thing spins onto, and I assume the gear as well. Let's keep going. That doesn't sound or feel good. Oh yeah, this thing. I'm going to keep working on that. I believe that this starter gear here should spin off the exact same way. This thing should spin off just like that washer, and I should be able to get this spring out of here. And also, the motor itself is not turning. I would think that I should be able to turn that over a little bit, but no. So let me work on that. I'll bring you back if there's something interesting. So I've been working on this, and I have been able to get the motor itself to turn. Boy, that sounds bad. It sounds like that starter filled up with water and it's full of rust. Oh my God. But I can't get the gear to move on here. So I keep working on it. I'll bring you back. I've been working on it a while, and it is not moving. So this washer has kind of a meshing teeth on it that goes on the spindle, so you can see it kind of, spins on and off. That's what this gear, I believe, is supposed to do. I'm pretty sure, but it is not. I don't see how it's not going to pull in the way it is, because it's completely stuck on the shaft. The motor itself spins fairly freely right now. I hear a bunch of crap in there. I don't know, it's already broke. You want to just put power to it and see what it does? I kind of do. Let's see what kind of noise it makes, shall we? All right, I have power, and I'm gonna connect it up over here. I'm going to give this thing probably a 90% chance that it's going to blow the fuse in here. Let's find out. All right, we're plugged in. Ah, did not. How about that? It's spinning and it didn't blow the fuse, so I'm impressed. It flung penetrating oil everywhere, but it did spin. So I don't really want to apply heat. I'm not going to torch it because there's this nylon bushing here, stop right here. That is going to get melted and cooked if I put heat on it. Also, the bearing in there is a bearing in there that this spindle is spinning on, and that will probably get cooked as well. So I don't think I want to do heat. I don't know. Maybe just let the penetrating oil sit for a day and then hit it with a hammer. I don't know. Maybe I can grab the spindle here with vice grips and then grab this with pliers and kind of work it. Maybe I'll do a little bit of both. I got it. I grabbed it with a vice grip and I just started just tapping on the gears, just tap, 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 and eventually it loosened up and I pulled it off. Let's clean up the spindle and the gear and put it back together. I wire wheeled all the pieces and they all kind of go on and off smoothly, but there's still some resistance there, and that's because this shaft is galled a little bit. So I'm gonna actually take a little bit of this PB blaster and I'm gonna just give this a little bit of a sand to remove any burrs or rust spots, and hopefully that'll get it to slide a little bit smoother. So let me finish this up and I'll bring you back. Alright, I worked on that for 2-3 minutes. That looks a little better. It's relatively smooth. I mean, honestly, you saw the condition of it before. Yeah, it's good. I wiped out the center in there as best I could. It's actually not terrible in there. So I guess at this point, let's just put it back together and see what it does. So I'm going to put some of this white lithium grease on here. Hopefully this will smooth things out a bit. Let's see how that does. Oh yeah, that's nice and smooth. Let's see how this... Oh yeah, very smooth. I think this should work. Let's see, how does this go back together? Let's see, the spring should go in there like that. And this, I think, should go next. Then this rubber piece, right? Then this piece goes like that, doesn't it? Yeah. There is this fiber washer thing that goes here, like that, I think. And then this clip goes on top, or did this? Yeah. This. Don't want this to go shooting off. There we go. All right. Want to give it a shot? Can you see? You can see? All right, let's do it. Wow, okay. That's good. I'd say that's working the way it should be, don't you think? Next. Oh, that's good, right? Is that a good sign? It smells like liquefied rubber. I think that's the fuel line. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, what's your guess? That's gummy. Oh, wow. I'm very pleasantly surprised. Gotta come off. One way or another. Denting you. Different. Nope. Ah. Ooh. That is quite a vintage. It's water and gas. That's, I would say that vintage is probably 2005. Got a brass float. Doesn't look like it's... Yep. You know, I don't think... So I was thinking not all of that is fuel line and stuff like that. Some of that's the oil, the two-cycle oil. Usually it's greenish or something like that. This is black. So I don't know if that was its original color or whether it is just so old that it turned black. I would like to get the emulsion tube out, but I'm not sure that that's going to have it. Still chunks in there. I would really like to get that emulsion tube out. There's still chunks in there coming out, and maybe if I take this butterfly out, it'll allow me to get some more of those chunks out, and maybe the emulsion tube. So let's do that real quick. It's easy to pull this thing out and put it back. Just remember which way it goes. It does not want to go. The emulsion tube is not coming. I don't know whether it might be pressed in there. Normally with the Tecumseh carbs, they will come out. This one is not. Maybe it's because maybe it's a 2-cycle carb, or I don't know. It's not coming, so I'm gonna leave well enough alone and move on to cleaning out the bowl and the float, and then we can start reassembly. Before I call it done with this, I'm actually going to take this carb cleaner and put this sprayer tip on it. It's kind of like a 90-degree, and get into all of these. There are small ports down there, like some of the idle ports, the idle air ports, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna attempt to blow all of those out with carb cleaner. Let's see, there was some more over here. Those were not ports, that was just goo. Let's see. Okay. That's a little better. I took it inside and I ran it under the sink, and I used the what you call it, the purple power degreaser stuff on it, which is kind of damaging to aluminum, but I just sprayed it on for a minute and used an old toothbrush on it, and it cleaned up pretty good, considering, you know, what it was before. So happy with that. I'm going to blow all the passages out with compressed air, and we'll clean that stuff up, deal with the jet, put it back together. Look at that. I'm amazed. Someone has been in there before us. I don't know if you can see all the scratches down in there, but somebody has been in here and they were scraping at it down there. So we're definitely not the first one in this carb, and usually that's not a good sign. So this jet, so obviously the main jet is down there, and you have the two holes on the side that go through like that. That's like every jet. But there's also another, I think this is for idle, the idle circuit. There is another hole right there. And so you want to make sure that one is clean. You're going to make sure that all the other ones are clean. This one is actually not that bad. Not bad at all. Yeah. Okay. All right, reassembly time. I'm going to, the float was sitting up high when I opened this up. I don't know if that's because the seat down there is popping up or swelled up or just bad, but this is a Tecumseh carburetor tool, and this end is actually for pushing that down, so I'm gonna jam that down in there and make sure that that is seated all the way. And then, well, let's just continue. How is this supposed to go on? This goes on what, like this? Yeah, like that. Okay. And let's see, the needle, the open end of this thing is supposed to go towards the air filter. So something like that, I think. Maybe. Huh. Like that. Does that look right to you? That's actually pointing towards the engine, so I'm the wrong way. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but that's what they say. All right, that's the open end of that clip is pointing towards the take. All right, now let's get this. Actually, it's not bad. Where's that tool? This is apparently supposed to be about the distance. So it's a little bit proud. You can, on these brass ones, you can actually bend that tab down in there, and you can get it to, you know, you can adjust the height. But you know what? It's just about level, very, very close, and that's kind of what I like to see. So, you know, instead of trying to bend that and possibly damage something, I'm gonna leave it be. It's close enough for my taste. So that's good. What next? What goes on next? Oh, well, I can actually put the bowl on. Let's see, it's got to go like that. Hopefully this thing didn't swell up. No, good. Let's see. You kind of want you see where the float is supposed to go down there? If you put it on the wrong way, the float could actually kind of jam. So you want it to go on like that. Come on. Gasket. I got gasket problems. Oh, no. Don't. All right. Let me work on that. I'll bring you back when it's done. You get the idea. Okay, let's try this. Gasket on first. And this needs to go like that. That's better. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's see, I need this. All right, last piece, the butterfly, right? Let's see. That's supposed to go like that. Yes, like that. It's good. How's this? Got witness mark here. That goes in, down like that. Not quite right. It's not. Gotta go the other way. Come on. Cooperate. Yes, there you go. That's cooperation. All done. Now, is it going to work? Yeah, I think it's going to. I think the engine is going to start. It's going to run, but I really have my doubts about whether it's going to run properly or good. After what came out of here, I am not putting this back in. So I have a new filter. These are just screen filters. So there's just a screen inside that goes across that filters the fuel. It's a fine mesh. There's no media or anything like that in here. I could probably reuse that one if I cleaned it out real good, but I have it, so we don't need to do that. Let me just cut a piece of fuel line about that size, and then I'll get that installed on the carburetor. Then we'll put that back on the engine. Close enough. Oh, while we're here, let me put this on and let's test the float to make sure that's working properly. So let me wipe this off before I put that in my mouth. And so when the carburetor is right side up like this, I should be able to blow through the fuel line and air should come out, which it does. Now, if I turn it upside down, I should not be able to. And I can't. So this carb is working, the float is working properly. I saw it. The trick is to watch where it goes, not try and chase after it, just watch. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, let's start putting the engine back together. Got the governor linkage on the carb. Well, that would definitely make a difference. The spring end broke. I don't know if you can see it, but it broke and I kind of uncoiled a few coils and bent a new one. So we'll see how that works. But, oops. Install this. Got the ground. At this point, I say that we bolt the engine back in and then deal with the gas tank, because this is more or less finished. Got the bolts here. Got this seated in the cradle. Come on, there you go. Alright, come on. Oopsie. The choke not going through the hole. Got bent up. Didn't see that when I put in the engine. There. There was so much rust in this tank that I ended up washing it out with water. And you can actually see it's pretty darn clean in there right now. And I let it dry more than a day, so it's a day later. So I'm satisfied with that, and let's put it back on. Before we bolt it back on, let's place the fuel line that we took off of it. Put this back on. Let's see if we cannot have it fly. Fly across the room. That's what I was saying, right? I know that there is a tool for this. All right, there we go. Okay, let's bolt it back. Got some 50-to-1 ethanol-free mix here. I'm going to put that in here, just a little bit. I don't want to put too much in case it doesn't work. Right. This gas cap, I chipped out all the rust, but it's in pretty bad condition. Shouldn't drop any chunks in there anymore, but yeah, we're going to need a new gas cap if this thing lives. Looks like we've got some incontinence here. I clamped off the fuel line and I kind of tipped it over to unflood the carburetor, so the bowl's still got a little bit left in it. I just want to see if it starts and runs. I know, you know, we still have carb problems, but I just want to see it run, so... All right, ready? Nice. I didn't expect that. Runs pretty good. All right, what do you say we try it again? I wonder if some of the vibration kind of rattled the float loose in there. I wonder, let's just see. I doubt it, but... Yeah, the carb is definitely flooding over. Can you see it in there? It's just full. So got carb problems. I don't know if I can pull the carb off with the engine in here. Maybe we can take off this bottom plastic piece. I'm not sure. We'll deal with that on the next time. She lives. I'm surprised. But we still have carb problems, and this video is getting very long. It's probably going to be an hour or more. So I'm going to stop it here. And we'll pick this up again next time. I'm not sure how far we'll get. I don't know if we'll get to a running, operating snowblower. I at least want to get the engine to run. You know, we got a lot of stuff to deal with still. We got the tines and the scraper bar to deal with. Those are basically worn down to nothing. And we have the belt and the pulleys here to deal with. I think it all should be functional. Just needs a little bit of love. And yeah, so with that, guys, I want to thank you for joining me on this long video. And if you like these videos, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you on the next one.